Yo, what's going on, guys? So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys a little bit more about geometry on the chart. First and foremost, like I explained in the last video, before we do any type of geometry on the chart, we need to make sure that our chart is properly scaled with time and price. And giving you the same example as last time, USD JPY on the 15-minute time frame. Okay, this lock to bar ratio, this number, this code, write it down, tattoo it on you. Do whatever you got to do, keep that number safe. This is what you'll be using on USD JPY on the 15-minute time frame. So once we have that locked in place, okay, we can kind of take a look at the market, see what we're doing. Yep, this is where we're at in kind of recent history. So first things first is you need to draw some circles. Okay, you need to find a prominent high, a prominent low. I would say that this high and this low are probably our prominent highs and prominent lows to forecast things happening over here, if that makes sense. All right, so something's interesting, or something interesting happens when you measure from a high to a low, specifically when you have the proper chart scaling. You're not going to get these type of results dealing with a regular chart. So mind you, you measure back from this high to this low. Okay, you get some valuable information by doing this, and then you create a circle from this high and this low. Okay, interesting. Okay, you can see price perfectly react in this area as well as it broke out, and you continue using this prominent high and you swing circles back to more lows, and it's going to give you a better understanding of what price is going to do in the future and how it's going to travel. Okay, which is insightful, because this is the everybody talks about support and resistance, but in my personal opinion, these are the true support and resistance factors that exist on the chart. Okay, so you can see that it's working. Price is a little bit over here, and you can just kind of eyeball it. You can see that swing lows, previous swing lows or swing highs, have a correlation with future swing lows and swing highs. And as long as you have a good point of reference, which is this prominent high, you can always measure back and tell the future. Okay, this is a method that you can use, I want to say, like 90% of the time, guys. Okay, it works, point blank, period. That's the only real way I could really describe it, is that it works. So you have a prominent high here, and you kind of have a low here. So you can actually measure back from this low, and it can give you a little bit more information about what price is going to do in the future. Okay, so we mark from this low, and we're going to measure back from this high. So it's going to give us more of an idea. Okay, we can see price entering this range. We could even measure back from this high. I don't quite want to count that little micro high over here as a high yet, just because it's so close to price. But we could take one of these. We could take this recent swing low. Okay, we don't want to make it so big that we're not going to see a reaction anytime soon. So grab this recent swing low, and this will kind of let us know what price is going to continue to do within these circles. Okay, within these circles. Something else that's pretty interesting as well is angles. Okay, if you guys have been in my Discord, you guys have been checking out my stories, you guys have probably seen a bunch of angles on my chart, a bunch of circles, so on and so forth. Okay, so for whatever reason, there are 3 angles I'm going to show you here that are extremely powerful. I'm not going to get into the reasoning as to why these circles or why these angles are working. You can delve into your own studies. If not, you can just play with it yourself and see that it works. Okay, I'm a simple person. If something works long enough, I just kind of take it for what it is. It's working, right? Okay, so from this prominent low, just to give you an example, I'm going to draw out a 45-degree angle. Okay, we previously spoke about 45-degree angles in the last video and how when it intersects with the circle. Okay, and these intersections, Still hold some validity if it's coming from another origin point, but typically we want that origin point of the angle to be from that circle. Okay, so from the center of this circle here, every time a 45-degree angle crossed with its originating circles, you'll see a reaction. There are times where it does have a reaction when it crosses here. Okay, I'm not going to say that it doesn't, because it obviously does. Funny things happen. Okay, that is an exact pivot for this push up, as we see here. Okay, things get a little spooky. Okay, things get a little spooky when you start scaling your chart properly and you really understand what these angles are doing. So 45-degree angle, and we are going to draw another angle off of this origin point, and we're going to make it 60 degrees. Okay, 60 degrees. I'm going to make it red so you can see it. Okay, and then I'm going to make this one 30 degrees. So 30 degrees, 45 degrees, and 60 degrees. And just at a glance, we can kind of see that price does indeed respect this 45. Okay, you see some reactions. Price does indeed respect this 60 degree. Okay, and price wanted to come down to the 30, but you could see it had a gap, but some relationship to it along with the circular arc. Okay, you can also measure back from this low here and measure out these same angles. Okay, the reason why I'm measuring out these same angles is because I want to see the relationship that the market has with these angles. I want to see what's the trend like. Okay, what angle is vibrating in the market that makes the most sense to use, okay, as a trustworthy trend line. Because what I'm giving you here isn't just a regular trend line. These trend lines work together with price that provide the structures that we see. Okay, everything in the market is vibration, and vibration can be measured. Okay, just simply put, vibration can be measured. Okay, so we can see that this 30-degree angle, okay, obviously respects price, or price respects, the angle. 45-degree angle as well. And if you kind of just zoom out and look, okay, it looks like this 30-degree angle is the one that's encapsulating price for the most part. Okay, so we're going to delete these other angles, and we're going to be left with our 30-degree angle that encapsulates the trend. Now, there's something special to be said about these angles. Okay, they allow you to do some pretty cool things. Okay, for example, we can take this 30-degree angle, and because our chart is scaled and everything is locked into place, we can begin grabbing these angles, okay, and pinging them off new swing highs and swing lows, and you'll see that price, oh my gosh, price reacts to it in the future. For whatever strange reason, down to the tick, this extreme wick, that happened right here around this low that stopped everybody out, could have been calculated using a 30-degree angle in a previous swing low. So at this point, what I'm getting at is these things are not speculative angles. They are not, how do you say it, angles based off of general sight of what's going on in the market. These are concise, actual measurements of what is going on in the market in terms of the vibration that's occurring with price. Okay, because if you take a real good look at this price, I'm a musician, if you don't know, and price essentially, at least in my eyes, is nothing but audio. It's basically a sound wave, and in sound engineering we have ways of measuring that. So you have to, apply some extracurricular knowledge to really understand what's going on in the market. So let's keep playing around with this. Okay, I'm just going to throw some of these up. No particular rhyme or reason. I'm just taking these swing lows. I just want to see how price is reacting. Okay, I'm giving you guys examples so you guys can see that what we're doing is just a little bit different than what people do in the market today. Okay, and how they forecast price and make money. Okay, interesting things are going on here with these 30-degree angles. This overall trend is vibrating on the 30th degree. Okay, simple and plain. So from this origin point, okay, you could see that when you look at this intersection from this main origin with these original circles, okay, interesting things happen, man. Look at that. Pinging an exact low. Now it's either right on the money or one off or one on. Now when you play around with these lines, you know, you'll see that you're on a grid. Okay, this one's right on the money, and that puts you in a really good spot. Okay, that was a no drawdown buy, probably as perfect as you can get. And you can see that we could also just use this line as general support and resistance to understand the trend. You know, when price broke out of this area, we could have did something different. Obviously this circle wouldn't have been here at that point. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a little bit of hindsight, or a little bit of a, you know, going back so you can kind of see how we could have predicted that little accumulation right there. We could have predicted that simply by drawing this circle back. Either right there. Maybe not from that point. Because if we were accumulating or forecasting that circle, we might have drawn it from right here. Okay, I'm not doing like a in-time analysis of it, so bear with me. Okay, you can see price broke out of this area. Okay, price is respecting, okay, so on and so forth. So you can use these circles at any point as long as you're taking prominent highs and lows of recent history and forecast it out to the right to see what's going on. Okay, and that's what we had done here with this high and this swing low. Okay, we just kind of held that out right here to see how price reacts. Price is either going to keep climbing up this big circle here, or it may tire out once it hits one of these arcs and find its way in a downtrend. Okay, we'll see. We created a new high, okay, or not necessarily a higher high, but we created another, you know, another point in our trend here. We're still at the bottom side of this channel ish. Okay, so once we start breaking, I would say, one of these arcs, then we'll go to the upside. So from these lows, you can actually ping another 30-degree angle and see the trend within the trend that's potentially forming. Okay, the trend within the trend. So all of these minor 30-degree angles off of these lows, okay, tell you a great deal. Okay, this low could have already been made. Price could have been traveling up. You drew your 30-degree angle line. You see that it coincides with the bottom of an arc. Okay, price came down to this line and pretty much to the tick, okay, was forecasted using these 30-degree angles in this particular market. Okay, in this particular market. We can draw another. Okay, I'm going to show you guys a little trick. Another trick is with these angles. Okay, if it's a low angle, you don't necessarily need to throw a 30-degree angle upward from it. Okay, you can also throw you can throw an angle upward or downward from wherever you're at. Okay, so let's just take this angle since it's in the middle of price and we're going to get some reactions. You can go 30 degrees, clone that, 30 degrees here, and see that we have some reactions. Okay, I think price looks nice. You can go 30 degrees upward from that low and see that you get reaction as well. Okay, and if that's coming up to a bottom of an arc and price touches your line and touches the bottom of your arc, I'm not saying that it's going to bounce, because price is going to do what it's going to do. But if you were a betting man, which I'm sure all of you are, and you could take a look at some trend analysis here and see how price is coming down. Okay, price was very bearish, going down pretty steep. Okay, after the pullback, this next angle is a little flatter. This next angle is a little flatter, you know, until we get built up again right off the arc, until it's ready to break. Okay, so these things, these observations are just interesting to me, to say the least, because not only can you find support and resistance with the arc and kind of the path price is going to travel down, But you also have the forecasting technique that we talked about last video. Okay, so even off of 30 degrees pinged this exact low. Okay, let me change that. Okay, 30 degrees pinged this exact low. So if 30 degrees pinged that exact low, okay, what else does it ping here? As you can see, it pinged the top of this minor pullback. Okay, top of the minor pullback pinged. Probably a little minor move here. Look, that this candle here did indeed make a low. Didn't close at that low, but it did indeed make a low. You could have bought up right here. That's a good entry. You'd have only had this wick here drawdown. So very interesting stuff, guys. That's all I can keep saying is how interesting it is. I can't force you guys to trade with it. I can't force anybody to trade with it. But I think at some point you have to take a look at it, what's going on here. Okay, so right here we could have sold or bought. I mean, this is a good sell or a buy, depending how long you wanted to wait. So these things you can't really forecast about the market. But if I knew that there was supposed to be a reversal at this point and we were approaching a 30-degree angle line, I have some decisions to make. I could trust it and go with it to my best analysis, or wait till it gets a little closer to that line before you make any rash decisions. But as you can see, catching the bottom of this arc here would have been a beautiful buy long term. Okay, beautiful buy long term, and you were aware of this area not only by price movement, but because you had an intersection here, guys. Okay, these intersections are golden. Okay, this intersection here, okay, price did make a low. You could also take it off the previous candle. I usually go right on the intersection if the grid allows me to, if there's no air, you know, just because of the spacing of the charts, or the bars, or the one right before. So as you can see, this one, okay, you could have pinged a good little minor pullback and rode the rest of the trend down. It did technically make a high here. So I mean, there's a whole interpretation of what this means. Okay, from what I found, this is essentially pinging a high or a low, and overall it just puts you in a good position in the market, like point blank period. It gives you at least the timing of the market. So you can see here, this put us in a good sell. Okay, we could have caught that little candle down, which would have been about, you know, I don't know, 90 points or 70 points. That's not bad for one 15-minute candle. Okay, to help you avoid some noise and make some money, I would say that these methods are pretty viable. Okay, pretty viable and pretty interesting. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Follow, like, subscribe, and if you guys have any questions, also let me know in the comments, and I'll be glad to explain more of it in another video. You guys have a good one.